You've saved up. You've booked the time off. You're finally ready for your dream European vacation. But hold on. Is this what you're picturing? The crushing weight of 1,000 selfie sticks? Fighting your way through a sea of people just to catch a fleeting glimpse of a landmark? Waiting in line for hours only to be shuffled along like you're on a human conveyor belt, completely unable to soak in the history, the beauty, the very soul of a place. That's not a vacation. That's an endurance test. But what if I told you the Europe you've been dreaming of still exists? That it's not just some fantasy. Before you book a single flight, before you reserve one more overpriced hotel, you need to know about the places that aren't on every tourist's radar. These are the unbelievably preserved medieval towns that will completely redefine your idea of a European vacation. We're not just showing you pretty places. We're giving you the key to unlock a totally different kind of travel, an escape from the mainstream. We're heading to 8 of Europe's most enchanting and perfectly preserved medieval towns, places where history isn't just in a museum, it's in the very stones beneath your feet. These are the storybook villages that most tourists completely miss. So go on, tear up that itinerary. Your real European adventure starts now. Number 1, Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Germany. We're starting in a town that looks like it was plucked straight from a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Germany. Tucked away on the famous romantic road, Rothenburg is one of the best preserved medieval towns in the entire world. The reason it's so pristine is a quirk of history. After the 17th century, the town's development basically stopped, freezing its medieval core in time. Walking through its ancient gates feels like passing through a portal. You're immediately hit with a labyrinth of cobblestone lanes, flanked by half-timbered houses painted in a rainbow of pastel colors. The entire old town is still wrapped in its original fortified walls. You can spend hours walking the ramparts, peering through arrow slits, and imagining the sentries who once stood guard, looking out over a sea of red-tiled rooftops that has barely changed in centuries. The heart of the town is the market square, with its magnificent town hall. But the real magic happens as dusk begins to fall. This is when you can join the famous Night Watchman's tour. Guided by a figure in a black cloak, carrying a lantern and a medieval poleaxe, you'll wander the now gloomy alleys as he shares tales of medieval life. It's an unforgettable experience that turns a beautiful town into a living, breathing story. Number 2, Umdina, Malta. Next, we're heading to a sun-drenched island in the Mediterranean, to a place known as the Silent City, Umdina, Malta. Perched on a hill and enclosed by imposing ramparts, Umdina was the island's capital for centuries. And that nickname? It's no marketing gimmick. With only about 250 residents living inside the walls and cars strictly limited, a profound, beautiful quiet hangs in the air. Entering Umdina means leaving the noise of the modern world behind. You pass through a grand Baroque gate, which you might recognize as the entrance to King's Landing from Game of Thrones, and step into a maze of narrow, winding alleys. The streets are lined with honey-colored limestone palaces and chapels, a stunning mix of Norman and Baroque architecture. The silence is only broken by the echo of your footsteps, a distant church bell, or the clatter of a horse-drawn carriage. Exploring Umdina is all about peaceful discovery. Every turn reveals a hidden courtyard, a carved doorway, or a breathtaking view from the city walls over the Maltese countryside. You can visit grand homes like the Palazzo Folsen for a peek into the life of Maltese nobility. But the real essence of Umdina is found in just getting lost in its timeless labyrinth, letting the tranquility of the silent city completely wash over you. Number 3, Besalú, Spain. From the silence of Malta, let's jump over to the rugged heart of Catalonia, Spain, to discover the extraordinary town of Besalú. What makes Besalú instantly iconic is its entrance, a magnificent 12th century Romanesque bridge, complete with a fortified gatehouse that arches over the Fluvia River. Honestly, crossing this bridge feels like a rite of passage, a deliberate step into a world that time forgot. Once inside, you'll find a town famous for its medieval buildings. But Besalú's greatest treasure is hidden. The town was once home to a thriving Jewish community, and in 1964, an incredible discovery was made, a 12th century mikveh, or Jewish ritual bath. This underground chamber, carved from stone, is one of the very few of its kind left in Europe. Descending the 36 steps into this sacred space is a humbling experience, a tangible connection to the purification rituals that happened here centuries ago. The rest of the town is just as charming. You can explore the remains of an ancient synagogue, wander through the arcaded main square, and admire the Church of Saint Vicence. Besalú isn't large, but its historical weight is immense. It's a place that rewards curiosity, offering a real sense of discovery around every corner. Number 4. Český Krumlov, Czech Republic. Time for a town so picturesque it seems almost unreal, Český Krumlov in the Czech Republic. Cradled in a horseshoe bend of the Vltava River, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is dominated by its spectacular 13th century castle, a sprawling complex that's one of the largest in the country. The view from the castle is the stuff of postcards. Below, the river glitters as it snakes around the old town, its banks lined with brightly painted Renaissance and Baroque buildings. The town story is tied to the powerful Rosenberg family, whose 5-petaled rose emblem you'll see everywhere. Legend says a nobleman gave each of his 5 sons a different colored rose for their coat of arms, and the lords of Krumlov got the green one. The town still celebrates this with the 5-petaled rose festival, a massive party with jousting, medieval markets and parades. Wandering Český Krumlov's cobbled lanes is enchanting. You'll find frescoed buildings, quirky artisan shops, and cozy riverside taverns perfect for trying some local beer. It's a town built for getting lost in. And even though it's getting more popular, it still feels like you stumbled upon a secret corner of Europe where fairy tales are born. Okay, if you're already rethinking your travel plans and dreaming of wandering these ancient streets, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We're always on the hunt for more hidden gems like these, and by subscribing, you'll never miss an adventure that takes you off the beaten path. Number 5. Colmar, France. Alright, let's head to the Alsace region of France, where French and German cultures blend together beautifully. Here we find Colmar, a town so vibrant it's nicknamed the Little Venice of Alsace. The name comes from the Loch River canals that went through town, reflecting the kaleidoscope of colorful, half-timbered houses that line their banks. Colmar's old town is a storybook setting brought to life. Buildings from the 15th and 16th centuries lean into each other along cobblestone streets, their windows overflowing with flower boxes. The whole area is a pedestrian's dream. The most famous district is, of course, Petite Venice, where you can take a flat-bottomed boat tour, gliding past medieval homes and under romantic, ivy-covered bridges. It literally feels like you've stepped inside a painting. But Colmar isn't just about looks, it's also the capital of Alsatian wine. Surrounded by rolling vineyards, the town is a key stop on the Alsace wine route. Its traditional windstubs, or wine pubs, are the perfect spots to sample the region's famous Riesling and Gewürztraminer. With its unique architecture, romantic waterways, and amazing food and wine, Colmar is just pure magic. Number 6. Tallinn, Estonia. From Storybook, France, we're heading northeast to the Baltic coast, to a city that's a fascinating paradox, Tallinn, Estonia. Its old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the most perfectly preserved Hanseatic town centers in Europe, complete with medieval walls, soaring church spires, and cobblestone streets. Walking through Toompi, the upper part of the old town, you can feel the centuries. You can explore the imposing Toompi Castle, find lookout points with panoramic views of the red rooftops and the Baltic Sea, and wander into the magnificent Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. The lower town is a bustling maze of merchant houses and hidden courtyards, all centered around the lively town hall square. It's also home to the Rapteek, a pharmacy that's been operating in the same spot since the 15th century, making it one of the oldest in Europe. But here's the twist, just outside these ancient walls lies one of the most digitally advanced societies on Earth. Estonia is a world leader in tech and the birthplace of companies like Skype. This clash of ancient and modern is what makes Tallinn so cool. You can spend your morning exploring a 13th century fortress and your afternoon in a sleek, futuristic neighborhood. It's a city where the past is proudly preserved as part of a dynamic, forward-looking future. Number 7. San Gimignano, Italy. You can't have a list of medieval marvels without a trip to the rolling hills of Tuscany. And rising from the landscape here is San Gimignano. The town is famous for one thing above all else, its incredible medieval towers, which create a skyline you will never forget. Back in the 12th and 13th centuries, San Gimignano's powerful families were locked in a fierce rivalry. To show off their wealth and power, they built massive tower houses. At its peak, a mind-boggling 72 of these towers shot into the sky. Today, only 14 are left, but they're more than enough to give you a sense of that competitive spirit. The medieval arms race got so intense that the city council finally had to ban anyone from building a tower higher than the one on the town hall. Walking into the Piazza della Cisterna, surrounded by these ancient stone skyscrapers, is just so inspiring. You can even climb the Torre Grossa, the tallest remaining tower, for a jaw-dropping 360-degree view of the town and the Tuscan countryside. The town's development pretty much stopped after the plague hit in 1348. While tragic, that's exactly why it remains a perfectly preserved vertical city, frozen in time. Number 8, Carcassonne, France. For our final stop, we're visiting a place that is the literal definition of a fairy tale fortress, the Cité de Carcassonne in France. This isn't just a walled town, it's a massive, fortified city, a breathtaking spectacle of medieval military design. With its huge double walls, 52 watchtowers, and an imposing castle, Carcassonne looks like it was built by giants. Walking across the drawbridge and into the Cité is an experience that will leave you speechless. The sheer scale of it all is hard to wrap your head around. You can spend a full day just walking the nearly 2 miles of ramparts, exploring the inner and outer walls. The city is also famous for a bit of folklore. The legend goes that during a siege, a noblewoman named Lady Carcass saved the city by feeding the last of their grain to a pig and tossing it over the wall. The enemy army, figuring they had food to spare, gave up and left. In celebration, Lady Carcass rang the city's bells, prompting the cry, "Carcassonne, Carcass rings," and giving the city its name. Now historians will tell you that's a fun myth, but it perfectly captures the spirit of this incredible fortress. Carcassonne is pure medieval fantasy, a destination that brings back a childlike sense of wonder, and stands as one of the greatest fortified cities in all of Europe. So there you have it. From the fortress of Carcassonne to the canals of Colmar, and from the quiet alleys of Undina to the soaring towers of San Gimignano, a different Europe is out there waiting for you. It's a Europe free from the crowds, where history is alive and every cobblestone has a story. These towns aren't just destinations, they're invitations to step back in time. The beaten path is popular for a reason, but the real magic often lies just beyond it. So before you book that next trip, take another look at the map. The hidden gems are out there. Which of these towns is going straight to your bucket list? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear which one grabbed you. And for more hidden gems that take you away from the crowds, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, travel well.